Hey, what's up everyone? It's Mark here at DynoTrading. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some very impressive price action trading from today on my favorite, the NQ. Let's go ahead and fire this up. Alright, so what was interesting about today was I had a chance to have a conversation with a gentleman who had reached out to me about my dyno bars, and we got into kind of a debate slash argument on candlesticks. It was a pretty long conversation. It was civil and stuff like that. We didn't start cursing at each other or anything like that. But what I realize is that a huge amount of people on YouTube love candlestick charts. And I know that there's a lot of fans of candlestick charts out there, and you're not going to like what I have to say, which is the reality is that candlestick charts are a scam. And it's not a scam in the sense that they take your money and you never hear from them again. It's a scam in the sense that, it doesn't really mean anything. Like candlestick patterns don't mean anything, right? They got all these funny, like, Japanese names, rising star, doji, this spinning top, like there's a million different names for candlesticks. I mean, I could be on this video for 2 hours telling you about all the different names. The reality is candlesticks are always going to be used by retail traders. There is not a single professional trader in the world, at least that I have ever met here in Chicago, and keep in mind Chicago is probably ranked #1 over New York for the finance and trading industry. There's not a single person I've ever met that has ever used candlestick charts. At the end of the day, I've told you guys repeatedly that there's only one way to make money, and that's trading a trend. And even then, that's not enough. You got to get in at the beginning of the trend, right? Not the middle, not the end. You got to get in at the beginning of the trend, right? So why am I talking about candlestick charts? Well, here's an example on the NQ of candlestick charts. All right. So, if we look at this candlestick charts, I mean, this is a candlestick chart. It's got some indicators on it, right? This is what retail traders use, right? Now on the flip side of that, this is the same chart, same instrument that professional traders use, right? There's nothing arbitrarily special about one chart over the other. The reality is professional traders will always make money at the expense of retail traders, right? There's no nice way to say that, right? There's no polite way to say that. It's going to sound rude. It's going to sound obnoxious. And I know that. I mean, I know that as I'm hearing myself, but you guys know that I keep it real with all of you. I don't fill you with any bullshit. That's just the truth, right? The only way to make money in the market is by trading against people that are using this kind of chart. It's very easy to take money from people that are trading this kind of chart, right? Because this kind of chart is going to give you a boatload of fake signals, whereas the professional chart is going to give you very few signals, right? So if we talk about the NQ from today, I'm just going to show you 3 signals before lunch, all right? Here was a long signal right there, short signal right there, long signal right there. You can see the timestamps. This is bright and early morning Chicago time, right? In all 3 instances, price came back like I've told you it always does and gives you a nice retracement into the length of the starting bar, which is what I call the start of the trend, right? Just like that. This is crystal clear, right? So what I'm showing you right now, there's no interpretation. This is not open to interpretation. This is real. All right, so you had these directions. Here was a nice trade to the long side, here was a nice trade to the short side, and then here was a massive trade. Scroll this over, here was a massive trade to the upside like that, right? So why am I showing you this? Well, when you're trying to figure out your profit calculator, right? I use a minimum benchmark of 100 shares on anything that I trade. I feel 100 shares is reasonable. So when it comes to contract size and this and that, you figure out what you think is 100 shares with your contract. For example, on the ES, that's 2 contracts. On the NQ, it's 5 contracts. On gold, it's 1 contract. All of those things mean the same thing, 100 shares, right? So what does that mean in terms of dollars? This is what it means in terms of dollars, right? These are real numbers based on the standard units of 100 shares. Every single day, these kinds of moves happen on the NQ, right? If you're trading Forex, please stop and take a look at the NQ. If you're trading stocks, please stop and take a look at the NQ, right? There's no instrument in the world that's going to give you these type of moves based on a unit size of 100 shares. All right, so hopefully now you're starting to see why I love the NQ. Even then, it's not enough, right? If you tried to make these moves and you had this kind of chart, right? The candlestick chart, the bullshit chart, you're not going to make those kinds of moves, right? I would tell you something hopeful. I would say, oh, well, maybe you'll make those kind of moves. The reality is you won't, and you're probably going to lose. There, again, like I said, there's no nice way to say that. All right, so at the end of the day, like I said before, professional traders make money at the expense of retail traders by using trend trading systems. There's nothing else that's going to work, right? So I wanted to knock out this video before I started trading Forex tonight and show you guys that you don't have to spend the entire day. Trading is not something that necessarily requires 10 hours, 15 hours to be at a computer. You can get great signals based on a half a day session, right? You can see the x-axis here on my screen, right? That's 3 or 4 hours, right? Don't tell me that you can't afford to spare 3 to 4 hours to trade the market, right? So listen, if you want to see more, get in touch with me. And more importantly, I'd love to know your comments and thoughts on candlestick charts. Feel free to, send me an email, send me a text message, drop me a note on my my live chat on my website, whatever you want to do. I genuinely want to know what you guys think about candlestick charts versus trend trading charts. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next week.